Great. So we walked through the process and now we understand where our money's going. But unfortunately, we found out a few of us have some debts we need to get rid of. So right now, we're going to start the fun part. I'm going to show you how to be completely debt-free, meaning that you don't have a car payment and you don't have a payment on your primary residence. Does that sound fun? Yeah. Great. Let me tell you why I do this. First of all, is a lot of times when I go out, I also speak at churches. And what I try to do is I try to get people completely out of debt. And one of the things that we do is we ask them to give us their credit cards. And then what I actually do with their credit card is I actually take it and put it behind glass just like this. And what I do is because I want them to be free of having debts of having to pay them every month all the time. So that's how we walk people through the process. But first of all, let me walk you through the process of you becoming debt-free. First of all, there are 4 rules to becoming debt-free. 4 rules. The first rule is pretty simple. Stop spending. You know, we went to the exercise of everybody living beneath their means and not adding to their credit cards? It's actually stop spending. The second rule is pay the minimum on all cards except one. Pay the minimum on all cards except one. You look puzzled by that when I said that. You want to know why? Is that sometimes, people ask me, they say, well, I want to put an extra $10 here or put an extra $20 here. But at 18% interest, that actually does no good. Because there's 2 problems you have. One is just paying the minimum or just sending a couple extra dollars to them. It actually does no good or very little. The other, if you just pay the minimum all the time, you heard me say, but except on one card. Like if my mother bought a washer and dryer at Sears, and she paid $1,000 for it, and she was sending the minimum payment. After years, she still owed $985 because of the 20% interest. So that's why we're going to focus on one card. That's where we're going to take all that money and focus it in one area, but I'll cover that a little bit later. The third rule is establish a debt multiplier of at least $100. Establish a debt multiplier of at least $100. That means is if we took all of your debts and we added them up, we'd at least have $100 more than all your debts added up. The fourth rule and last rule is stay disciplined.
George, how do I get the money to get out of debt?
We're going to go through a process of getting out of debt, and then people sometimes say, none of you, but say, well, I paid off my credit cards, I'll just keep the car and keep the mortgage high and keep refinancing the house. But what I want to do is actually walk you through a process. Now, what this is I just wrote up some debts and just some average debts that somebody would have just to have an illustration. And these are some of the debts that some of you said that you had, and we talked a little bit about your profile earlier. So what I want to do is kind of fill these in. And first of all, if you add up all these debts, it adds up to of how much someone pays on a minimum payment every month is $2,065 a month. Then if you add up all the debts of what they are, this adds up to about $171,625. That's someone's total debt. Now this is a debt of someone that probably makes between $35,000 and $45,000. So we will also go through higher debts, but either you make more than that or you're married to somebody in relationship with somebody that makes more than that. So first of all, let's look at just average debts that somebody would have, and these are the minimum payments that they would require. First of all, what's someone has a department store credit card of $275. What's a company that we would have that with? Sears. Okay, Sears. All right, another department store card that somebody just has a department store card. Okay, Nordstrom's. We'll just put down Nordy here. Okay, now we just have just straight credit cards that somebody would have. What's a credit card company? Citi Bank. All right, another one that's $1,500. Capital One. What's in your wallet? You know, they got great commercials, don't they? Yeah, man. That's what. $3,000. Discover. In a moment, they're going to discover you being debt-free. Good. 4,200. And yeah, you know, a lot of people can't leave home without it. All right, and then
I got a car payment, man. So,
okay, you have a car payment. Okay, what type of car is that?
Prius.
Okay, all right, Toyota. Okay, and then also, remember we carried that over from before. Is if somebody has a student loan that's right around $20,000. I'll just write Sally Mae in here. Government, you know, you always have different relatives. You know, so you got your, you know, Aunt Sally Mae, you know, Uncle Sam, and then also we're just saying that you have, we're doing a national, so $130,000 mortgage. Who's a mortgage company that people use different things? Oh, great, Countrywide. Yeah, they're big. Countrywide. Great. So this is how we do this. So first of all, we have $100 above and beyond our minimum payment. So our first, remember what's rule number 3? Establish a debt multiplier of at least $100. We'll go through money saving techniques to get that $100, but that's how that would work. First of all, so we would have a $100 debt multiplier, and then we're paying $15. So do you see we come up with $115? $100 multiplier, $15 is the minimum payment. And we just keep paying the minimum payment. So 115, how long would it take for us to pay off $275? Take about 3 months, right? Then 115 plus 25 would be what? About 140. Hey guys, chime in with the math early. See, as the paper goes down, the math gonna get a little harder. Okay, so if you don't know it, you know what I mean, chime in early, okay? All right.
Watch me now. If I could have your attention, please. Calling all God's people. Time to come out of the darkness. Life is gonna get better. Watch me now.